If you've ever caught yourself daydreaming about, just quitting your job and starting your own business, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, in this explainer, we're exploring the profound metamorphosis that turns an ordinary employee into a highly successful entrepreneur. And we're doing this using Robert Kiyosaki's brilliant insights. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So ask yourself right now, what is actually more important to you? Is it freedom or is it security? See, most of us were trained from childhood to just choose security, right? Go to school, get good grades, find a safe job with a steady paycheck. But here's the thing, that security is often just an illusion that keeps us totally trapped. Finding true freedom requires a completely different mindset.
Here is our roadmap for escaping the rat race and undergoing this complete metamorphosis. 1. Freedom versus stability. 2. The Cashflow Quadrant. 3. Fear of failure as a strategy. 4. The BI triangle. And finally, 5. From employee to leader.
Section 1. Freedom versus stability.
The traditional education system basically prepares us to act like an employee. It's all about protecting resources, right? Thinking things like, will I have enough money until payday? Or how do I keep what I have and just avoid risk entirely? The entrepreneur, on the other hand, is laser-focused on opportunities. They're asking, how do I achieve true freedom and build real wealth? What calculated risks should I absolutely take today? So escaping the traditional path isn't just handing in a resignation letter. It requires a profound, fundamental shift in your core philosophy.
In practice, this mindset shift completely changes how you view growth. Think about it. Employees spend their entire lives trying to climb a vertical corporate ladder, always just waiting around for the next promotion. But entrepreneurs, they don't want to climb the ladder at all. They literally want to own the ladder. They value horizontal networks, strategic partnerships, and actual team results way more than the mere illusion of job security.
Section 2. The Cashflow Quadrant.
Now, this isn't just some simple income scheme. It's actually a map of 4 completely different worlds. People in these different quadrants speak totally different languages, and that's because they are driven by completely different core emotions. Some are governed almost entirely by fear, while others are driven by a massive thirst for freedom.
Let's break these down. We have E for employee and S for specialist or self-employed. Then on the right side, we have B for big business owner and I for investor. Now, the biggest trap hides right there in the S quadrant. So many people think they've magically become entrepreneurs just because they quit their jobs. But if you're a dentist, a lawyer, or a solo consultant and you stop working, well, your income drops to 0. You don't actually own a business, you just own a job. True financial freedom means you absolutely have to migrate over to the B and I quadrants.
Section 3. Fear of failure as a strategy.
The more security you seek, the less freedom you have. That is such a powerful quote. See, in the employee world, mistakes are treated like a sin. Employees get punished for missteps, and honestly, that fear completely paralyzes them. But in the world of successful entrepreneurs, mistakes are absolutely necessary for survival and growth. You literally have to make mistakes to learn what the market actually wants.
School teaches us to be a full cup, meaning you're supposed to already know all the right answers and avoid mistakes at all costs. But out on the street, in the real world of business, you actually need an empty cup. You can't possibly know everything. True entrepreneurs deliberately take calculated risks, and they use those failures as a strategic tool. Every single mistake expands their capacity and just makes them smarter.
There's a great saying for this. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. Think about the early versions of Windows. They crashed constantly. They were absolutely full of bugs, but Microsoft pushed them out to the market anyway. If they had waited for a totally flawless product, Windows would have never launched. No way. So many aspiring entrepreneurs stay stuck in the driveway just waiting for all the green lights. But the hard truth is, perfection is the enemy of freedom.
Section 4. The BI triangle. When you look at the structure of a successful company, pay attention to the very top. Most aspiring business owners look only at the product, thinking that a cool idea automatically equals millions, and that's exactly why they fail. The product is actually the smallest piece of the puzzle. It's literally just the tip of the iceberg. Instead, a scalable business has to develop from the bottom up. It all starts with a rock-solid mission. That foundation then supports cash flow management, efficient communications, robust systems, and a really strong legal framework. Only then, sitting pretty at the very top, is the product. Building a scalable business means you've got to build that base first.
True leaders in the B quadrant are absolute masters of leverage. Instead of draining their own life savings, they use OPM, other people's money. Instead of trying to do everything themselves, they build strategic partnerships and delegate the hard stuff to top specialists. They don't try to be the smartest person in the room, they gather the smartest people around them to build something massive.
Section 5. From employee to leader.
To become a true leader, you absolutely must abandon that know-it-all ego. A specialist knows a lot about a little. Think of a brilliant programmer or a top-tier surgeon. But a leader is a generalist. They know a little about a lot. Law, finance, marketing, systems. They keep their cup empty, they act as lifelong learners, and they hire those narrow specialists to actually execute the vision.
This metamorphosis is so much more than just a simple career change. It is a fundamental transition from a thirst for stability to a profound thirst for freedom. It's the ability to keep your sanity and keep taking action even when you have absolutely zero money coming in. It's about taking 100% responsibility and leading strong, independent people that you can't just boss around with a paycheck.
And you know, the ultimate reward of this entire journey isn't just millions in the bank. As Kiyosaki points out, the word courage actually comes from the French word le cœur, which literally means the heart. Becoming an entrepreneur means achieving freedom from the fear of fear itself. You stop being a hostage to anxiety, and you start finding the answers not in some corporate manual, but right there in your own heart. So, looking back at everything we've unpacked in this explainer today, what path are you going to choose? Will you stay in the security dictated by fear, or will you risk it all for true freedom? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.